What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Jack Ramsays After Dark. Danny Marang here following a Blazers victory Monday night over the Los Angeles Lakers, 127-115. That was fun. Obviously, a lot to get to from this weekend. Maybe the stupidity is finally over. I doubt it. But we'll dive into the Gary Payton stuff here a little bit later. But I want to talk about tonight's game because it was a lot of fun. With Jerami Grant out, unfortunately, due to concussion symptoms. With really unfortunate timing considering all the medical stuff that's been going around. First of all, I want to take a second and say this. The reporting around the Gary Payton II thing by Shams Charania and then Andrew Slater of The Athletic was cheap, knockoff, shitty journalism. Bare minimum. The people on the medical staff did not deserve it. It was a hit piece put out by the Warriors, and it's disgusting. It is one thing to have millionaires and billionaires have their pissing contests between front offices. Everybody get their jokes in, all that kind of stuff. What they did, their irresponsible, reckless reporting, not calling one goddamn person, could have damaged the reputation of both Jeff Clark and Jessica Cohen, and that's disgusting. Disgusting behavior. Absolutely egregious behavior. Now, with that being said, it was a fun game tonight. I want to make sure I got that out there because I'm genuinely still pissed off about it. I don't care about the team stuff. They can handle their own. They can handle their own. That other stuff pisses me off. You're going with people's livelihoods, and I will not stand for it. Will not stand for it. Absolutely, unequivocally. And I wish more people in the media would do the same. Back to tonight's game. Sorry to everybody else who's not ready for that right out of the gate. Fun game tonight. Unfortunately, like I said, Jerami Grant out with concussion symptoms. It happens sometimes, guys. For everybody who's freaking out about the medical staff and what they did or didn't do, they put Jerami through concussion protocols. I talked to him on Friday night, and he was totally fine. We were joking back and forth, having some fun. There did not seem to be anything there. He woke up the next day, and I guess he just had some issues. So that's really stand on that. But that meant you had the likelihood for two guys to start, and that included the new guys. Matisse Thybulle got into town. I believe he got into town Friday night, if I'm not mistaken, or I think he got there like an hour before the game, so he just didn't have time, flying across country, trying to get everything right. Everything there, it just timing-wise didn't work out. But he got a couple days off. They got to go through some walkthrough stuff. I think they got a little bit of practice in yesterday. And Tease, I want to say Chauncey said he blocked a three. No, Trendon told me in practice that he blocked a three. He said when he saw that in practice, he went, "Oh, he's like that." And Tease is like that. For anybody who had never seen Matisse Thybulle play defense before, Tease is about that life. Tease is literally an all-NBA defender. He rates out in the 100th percentile in both block percentage and steal percentage for guards, wings, excuse me. He's a true 6'5". When you talk about him being 6'5", he's 6'5" closer to 6'6", not 6'4", closer to 6'5". And he's got a near 7 foot wingspan. And he uses all of it. His timing is incredible. He's wildly difficult to screen. His IQ is through the charts. Chauncey talked about him tonight in the post-game saying, look, even if our scheme is for, to go over with somebody, I'm just going to let him do what he does. If he goes under, he's so good at, to me, the two hardest prime defenders in the league to screen are Tease and Mikal Bridges. Those are the two hardest guys to screen in the NBA. They get skinny. They turn sideways. They do not give you anything to hit. And it's very, very, very difficult to consistently screen him. So even if you do get a piece, he just kind of slithers around. I mean, both those guys have Hall of Fame slithery badge on defense. Pick dodger, slithery's on offense. I had to get my 2K up. It's been a little while since I've been on the sticks. He got on the floor. He had 2 deflections and a steal in 3 out of the first, I want to say, 6 possessions. He's that dude. His final stat line tonight, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 14 points. I put the points last because I don't necessarily care about the points. He was helpful tonight, and they needed it, particularly his 4 or 6 from 3. That's huge. But I need him to rebound. I need him on the stocks, steals and blocks. They are not a measure of good defense. However, what they are is used turnovers or used possessions by opponents that don't turn into anything. Give me that. I was talking to Kevin Pelton of ESPN about Tease. He's a Tease fan because KP's a Husky. So don't hate him. KP's a good dude, but he's a Husky through and through. He loves his purple. And Matisse is a UW guy. I said something about block threes, and I was like, doesn't he lead the league in block threes? And Kevin corrected me. He goes, he leads the league in block jump shots. So he was incredible tonight. Incredible. I don't expect 4 or 6 from 3. I do not expect 4 or 6 from 3 regularly. I made a joke on Twitter about the idea of, did the 76ers not know he could shoot? This is his second best three-point shooting night of his career. The only other game where he has hit more was 2019 against the Raptors. He hit 5 threes. So that's something that's there. Let's kind of run through the game here real quick. The Blazers came out and absolutely pasted the Lakers in the first quarter, 34-19. The Blazers did not score a point in the paint. Not a single point in the paint in the first quarter. And I went, uh-oh, this is not good. If those threes don't stop, or if they stop falling, they are in trouble. But the difference was they hit 10 threes in the quarter as a team, so who cares? 10 threes in the quarter. Ant hit 2, Tease hit 2, Dame hit 2, Nasir 1, Shaden 2. We'll talk about Shaden later. Trendon 1. Everybody was getting theirs. The Blazers hit 12 shots in the period. 10 of them were threes. That'll get you a good quarter any given night. No doubt about it. Moving into the second quarter, the Lakers started to score. Anthony Davis still was not effective in the game. I said something akin to, if Anthony Davis takes any shot outside 8 feet, he should be fined. There was nobody who could handle him, and he just missed a lot of shots. He was flopping and flailing, hitting the floor, and, well, we've seen a lot of that in Portland. The Blazers cooled off a little bit, but they managed to hit threes. And by managed to hit threes, I mean Damian Lillard went absolutely freaking berserk and scored 24 points in the quarter. The Lakers scored 27 in the quarter. Damian Lillard scored 24. And I have no idea. I need to ask Dame what the hell Austin Reeves did or said to him. Because Dame went at Austin Reeves like he goes at Pat Beverly, like he goes at Russell Westbrook, like he goes at guys that he does not like. And he tortured that man. I said something along the lines, he reminded me of the goat tied to the pole that gets fed to the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. I don't know what, Darvin Ham hate him? He just threw him to the wolf, man, and Dame said, nom, 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 nom. Just absolutely cooked his ass. Over and over and over. And Dame went back for seconds, thirds. It was a buffet. It was all you can eat. And Austin Reeves was serving it up. Dame hit 6 threes, hit 2 layups, had a couple or 5 rebounds in the quarter. I mean, he just roasted. Blazers go into the half. Was it up 20? No, 19. I'm sorry, 19 and a half. 65-46. Dame has 30 at the half. Ant has 10. Tease has 6. A couple other guys with 6. It was all Dame everywhere. They just had no answer for him. The Lakers shot 36%, 3 of 18 from 3, 5 free throws. The Blazers only took 2. Thank God for the referees tonight. My God, they just kept that game going. Loved it. High pace. Blazers only had 2 turnovers in the first half. 2 turnovers. Lakers had 5. I really like the pace. I really like the effort. I like the intensity. It was just go, 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 go in the first half. And for everybody's like, oh, they're missing LeBron James. Yeah, that's a big dude to miss. Let's not forget the Blazers were missing 3 starters. Dame and Ant were the only starters. You had one guy who played 1 game in the team, one guy who played 0 games in the team, and then the guy starting at center is your backup center. I thought they did incredibly well considering the circumstances. Incredibly well. Now, shooting luck does that. Shooting 17 of 29 from 3 in the first half. Excuse me. Dame going super nuclear. And I thought they did well defensively. I genuinely did. I thought they did well defensively. I thought they kept the Lakers, who had 0 fast break points in the first half. They did have 13 second chance points. The Lakers had 10 offensive rebounds in the first half. You expect that. With their size. Not just Anthony Davis, but Rui's big, Troy Brown Jr.'s big, Vando's big, Wenyen Gabriel's big. So, yeah, that's kind of expected in that regard. But the Blazers, I think they matched them well. 17 first half points on the bench. I thought Nasir Little was really good again tonight. Didn't show up massively in the box score. I just thought he was good. Played 15 minutes in the first half, knocked down a 3, and was a plus 25. Shaedon Sharpe. We get to the third quarter, and Thybulle and Sharpe are the guys in the third quarter. They were incredible. Thybulle goes 2 of 2 from 3. Sharpe goes 3 of 4, 1 of 2 from 3. And this is the thing about Shaedon that has been noticeable, and Chauncey mentioned it in the postgame. They're starting to understand each other. When I say they, the team is starting to understand Shaedon. Shaedon is starting to understand the team. Things are starting to slow down for Shea just a little bit. And they're running things for Shaedon that make more sense for him, and Shaedon is understanding the spots that he gets to. Now, everyone wants to talk about the dunk. The dunk was obscene. The press row broke a lot of rules on that dunk. I'll be totally honest. Jovan Bua, who covers the Lakers, fantastic writer, he was blown away sitting behind me. Kevin Pelton was sitting behind me, and he was just laughing. Everybody was kind of lamenting the fact that he's not in the dunk contest. But as great as that dunk was, and it was tremendous, it was one step inside the free throw line, and his head was above the rim. Just pure top 1 percentile, 99.9 percentile athlete in the NBA. Just freak stuff. As fun as that is, and it's extremely fun, it was his footwork for me. You guys know me. I love them feet. Yeah, that's right. You can clip it. I don't care. His footwork, when he gets his feet right. If you somebody said this earlier on Twitter, they said, "Hey, it's the same thing about Nasir." And yeah, no, most guys when they get their shooting platform under control, good shooters, they get good looks. Shaedon's one of those guys where if he gets his feet right, he's leaning towards the Dame Ant type of shooter. Like he is. There's something real there, particularly the catch and shoot, but even more on the footwork side, he got caught a little bit on his dribble drive. I want to say it was, I'm trying to remember exactly, split right to left dribble, got to his left hand. Footwork wasn't perfect, but there was something there where like, oh, there's some juice there. And he does a little half spin, little Kobe-esque. Brandon would love this, little baby Kobe. Plants his right foot, turn, fade, cash. And it was incredible. Those are the kind of things to me that are significantly more important if you're talking about projecting for a dude. There's a lot of guys in the league that can catch and shoot. There's a lot of guys in the league that can dunk. The in-between game is the separator. That's the separator. If you have the ability, the best players in the NBA can score in between. It just is what it is. Now, does it mean you need to go to it all the time? No, but if you're a 16-game player, playoff players, they can score in between. James Harden is a free throw, rim, three-point merchant. Does not mean he can't hit in between when he needs to, but he can also get in between. I think over the last 2 weeks, Shaedon has turned into 1 degree better. It's a long road. He could tomorrow fall apart against the Wizards. And I would expect it because he's a 19-year-old rookie. But he's showing more and more things. The building blocks are building up instead of just building flat or dropping down. Like the baseline is lifting ever so slightly. And that's important. Defensively, he's getting lost less. His egregious mistakes are still very egregious. But, again, I don't expect... I don't know if I've ever... I think I've said this publicly, but I can't remember or not. I have told every young player I have ever talked to, I have ever covered, I have ever interviewed, I have ever talked, DM'd and texted and called, all those things. I tell them all the very same thing when the first time we talk. And then usually a couple times after. I am not going to be harsh on you in your rookie contract. I don't expect you to have everything under control. You shouldn't. You're young. You're gonna make mistakes. When it matters is when you get your first real deal. When you get to your second contract. That's when that stuff's gotta... And he's got 3 years until that. So I don't... It's not that I don't hold guys accountable or that I don't believe they need to. I just believe that you need the freedom to understand that growth curve. And with Shaedon, I think that's the necessary patience that needs to be there. Will that line up with the Blazers' timeline? I don't know. Probably not. But I do believe that's the kind of patience you need to have with a guy like him and Anthony when he kind of ramped up. It's the same thing. This is his first year as a starter and his first year post-rookie. You start being held more accountable than you were, but you're in a different spot. You're in a different role, and you need to judge guys accordingly for that. So every time I want to talk about the things that Shaedon can or can't do, just keep that in mind. That's the thing that matters when you're talking about development. It's not linear. That's how it goes. It goes up and down. I'm sure that really plays really well on the podcast version. But let's finish this game up. The Blazers, after 3 quarters, basically have this thing put away. They're up 22 going into the fourth. And that's pretty much all she wrote. Pack it up, put it down. You got Kevin Knox out on the floor for almost 7 minutes of garbage time. Final score was kind of irrelevant because, like I said, Knox played almost 7 minutes. Cam played 10. Jabari Walker played 9.5. Arcidiacono got out there for almost 7 minutes. It was good stuff. They were able to just kind of put things away and okay. Outside of Dame having a 45-6 or 40.6 boards, 5 assist night, it's become ridiculous. It's become ridiculous how simple he makes 40 points look. This is his 11th 40 or more game of the season. NBA leading. It's him, Luka, and Giannis. That's the kind of season Dame is having. After that, Shaedon with 15, Tease with 14, Anthony with 14. Anthony was started the game off 4 of 5. Then I think he missed 7 straight shots. All shots that I expect him to make. It just rattled off, rimmed off. He did try to attack Anthony Davis, which I like. Got blocked. It happens. But I'd rather see him do that than kind of go the in-between game. Led the team in assists again tonight. I think that's like the 4th time in 7 nights that Ant has been there. I want to see the night where he puts them both together. That's the next step. Be the playmaker and hit the shots. Asking a lot, but he's getting paid a lot. That's how that works. Reddish struggled shooting the ball. 1 of 5 from 3. 2 of 8 from the field. Was it 5 points, couple boards, couple assists? Yeah. I expect that. He's not. I don't think he's in game shape yet. He hasn't played in 2 months outside of Friday night. As he starts ramping up, then we'll see how things look. It is nice to have a 6'8" guy out there. I'll tell you that. The guy that I want to talk about tonight had a very simple stat line. Trendon Watford, 8 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. But I asked Dame about what it's like to have a guy like Trendon Watford out there and how invaluable he is when a defense like the Lakers tonight, after Dame had 30 in the first half, they threw 2 at him over and over and over and over again. And he just kept finding Trendon in the pocket, playing 4-on-3, and how Trendon's irrational confidence. It was funny because Dame talked about how last year he's an undrafted guy. Trendon came into camp, and Dame says something along the lines of, this guy thinks he's a lot better than he is. And he didn't mean it disparagingly. he said he had a level of confidence, a level of swagger that you have to be successful in this league. And what Trendon can do 4-on-3, and Dame elaborated this, is you have to be confident in order to make those plays. Because, every now and then the defense is going to get deflections. You're going to make the wrong read, or you're going to be off on your timing. And you have to have the confidence to keep making the plays. And Trendon does have a swagger and a rational. I love Trendon because anytime you talk to him, he's got a little country drawl, and he's always there's a level of swagger. There's a level of confidence behind him. Anytime you ask him anything, oh yeah, I can do that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's a lot of yeah in there. He didn't say no to much, and it translates to the court. And one of the things I asked Dame is, why do you think it's so hard for that skill set, or why is that skill set so rare? And it was because of that confidence. He goes, there's not enough guys that have that confidence, that have the ability to do that, to have the IQ, the willingness, and everything kind of coming together. And he highlighted Draymond as kind of like the apex guy. And he's like, I'm not comparing him to Draymond. Draymond is a different dude. Look, I love Trendon. Offensively, he could maybe someday be as good as Draymond. Defensively, nobody's getting there and having that package with him. Like, that's just how that goes. But what Trendon can do with what he has offensively, there's certain things in there that Dre can't do. Right now, Trendon Watford taking threes, I trust significantly more than Draymond Green. I've kind of poked Trendon a little bit over the last couple of weeks for his three-point shooting because he's been shooting so well. Tonight he left one up there. Just left it up there for everybody. And I said, I saw you leave that one up there. He goes, yeah, I missed that. I missed that first one. Or I thought that first one was going out. I'm sorry. He hit them both tonight. But he goes, I thought that first one was going out. Second one, I felt confident, felt good, and then it kind of rimmed out, and I got a little scared. But I left it up there. And I said, hey, I know I can. I've seen the work you put in with your three-point shot. Like, you can see, it's just so much quieter. It's so much simpler. There's so much more confidence in his shot. He goes, you see it? Good. I know. I've been working on it. And it's just, the Blazers need that. They need that attitude. They need his kind of his juice. And honestly, Tease, I think that's part of why you saw them play the way they did tonight. And there's been reporting around Gary Payton and negative stuff here or there. Look, could that have been impacting the team? Yeah, it could have. Do I think it was like anything that was like dragging everybody down, like toxic? No. But were the vibes entirely right? No. A lot had to do with Josh knowing he was being shopped. And I think now that stuff is resolved and everybody kind of understands where things are, at least for the next couple months, and you've got new guys who are looking to prove some stuff, I think you're going to find a team that plays like they did tonight. On certain nights, they're just going to get the crap kicked out of them physically. They just don't have the size. But on some nights, they can punch up. And when they shoot like this, they'll beat anybody in the league. You hit 23 threes. The franchise record is 24. You hit 23 on 47 from three. You're going to win a lot of freaking games. Let's just call it what it is. But like, hey, look at that. 69 points. Nice. From three? Yeah. I mean, they put up a $127 that if they didn't call it the Dogs, 140 was on the board again. It was fun to see. Let's dive back into the Gary Payton II stuff here real quick because we haven't really talked about it, obviously, since that night. Outside of the crappy reporting, I was glad to see Aaron Goodwin, Gary Payton's agent, be the one to go on record to say that the Blazers training staff did not give him Toradol injections. I don't think anybody in the regular fan world understands what it is for an agent to go on record and not be an unnamed source. For him to put his name on that was no small thing. And that was, to me, a shot at the Warriors for sit the hell down. Somebody's out of pocket. And that's why I said, if you don't have the goods, you better not come. And that's exactly what it was. They did not have the goods. What this means going forward. The Warriors have filed with the league of a grievance. There has been a note from, I believe, Chris Haynes of the Warriors, again, operating through the media. That's all they have done. They have not gone on record once about anything. The claim about, or the pointing in the direction of the New Orleans Pelicans and Larry Nance Jr., and he was included obviously in the C.J. McCollum trade. And because Larry Nance Jr. underwent surgery a couple weeks after he was traded to the Pelicans, considering that David Griffin and the Pelicans did not file a grievance, that there has not been anything out of that, I would suspect that that transaction was also above board. The big things to take away from this. Number one, man, my throat is fried, sorry. End of the night. That's how it goes. Okay. This is what's kind of important to take away from this. The transaction is done. The Blazers get their 5 second-round picks. The players are to their sorted teams. What was and wasn't litigated in the public was pretty much entirely for the Warriors. The only things that came out in public that were related to the Trailblazers in any way, shape, matter, or form were obviously Aaron Goodwin taking his stance and presenting it to his quote to his statement to Chris Haynes, and then Josh Hart. Shout out Josh Hart of now the New York Knicks, going off on his own and talking about how the Blazers were great. Joe Cronin was great. Their training staff was great, and they're nothing but a first-class franchise and a first-class organization. I mean, that's the Blazers just kind of letting that speak for itself. I think that was the right way to go. Beyond that, I personally, knowing what I know, I don't see any recourse for the Warriors here. I think somebody threw a fit. I think somebody didn't like what was going on. I don't believe that there's anything there that's actionable with what I know. I could be wrong. I'm not a lawyer. But that's what I know. Well, that's what I believe based on what I know. So, real quick, I've seen a couple people ask about the differences between GP2 and Thybulle. GP2 has got more juice as a playmaker, a more natural passer, more physical, bigger, stronger. Thybulle's taller, longer, significantly more slithery, more disruptive in the passing lanes, and as a shot blocker. They're very different while both being very impactful in what they can do. I think if gun to my head, if I had to pick what makes more sense for this team, I think Thybulle does, but I can see the merits of somebody like Gary because they do need somebody who's a little bit stronger, who's a bit more bullish, and I think that's kind of why they were targeting Gary in the first place. But man, Tease eats up space. And I asked Chauncey tonight, does Tease's experience in college, because he obviously played at UW, the question about Tease, hilariously, he played almost exclusively in a zone at Washington. And now the NBA is kind of moving towards a little bit more zone defense, a lot more zone defense on Sun teams. And I asked Chauncey tonight about the idea of, does Tease's background, does it allow him to adapt to this team more quickly? That you can just kind of throw him out there in a zone, even if the principles are slightly different, to be more effective. And he's like, yeah, it does. But also Tease, whether it's man or zone, he kind of plays it the same way. It's like, this is his space, this bubble in front of him. Like, whoever's in front of him, he's just going to clamp up. And he did. D'Angelo Russell, I just did not feel like he had any impact in the game tonight. Dennis Schroeder was one of, like, you look at the guards tonight for the Lakers, Russell was 8 of 16. Beasley somehow was 6 of 12 from 3, and it did not feel like it at all. Schroeder was 1 of 7. Walker's 2 of 6. The guards for the Lakers just felt like they couldn't get anything going. And Tease was, on the floor for almost 30 minutes tonight, 27 minutes tonight. And it felt like even when he was out there, he was making life hell. Absolutely. Whose shot did he send into the 12th row? Was that Beasley? I think it was Beasley. I can't remember. I just remember thinking, oh my God. He covered so much ground and just sent it. Absolutely sent. You do not see wings do that. You just don't see that. And he does it regularly. Again, number 1 in block percentage. He's the 100th percentile. The game he had tonight was just kind of a snippet into what he can do. He's not going to fix everything. There's a lot broken with his defense. But the Blazers held the Lakers to 115, and God, 10, 12 of those points were in garbage time? The Lakers could not score tonight on a small team. Granted, again, no LeBron James, and they're integrating some new guys too. But, Beasley hit 5 of his threes in the fourth quarter. Yeah. They just didn't do anything. And I think Thybulle was a huge part of that. And honestly, I thought Shaedon was disruptive tonight. He finished with 3 steals tonight. Couple deflections. When I go look at the tracking stats in the morning, I'm going to see the Blazers probably with 7 or 8 deflections, maybe more, but probably that many between those two guys. It was very, very interesting tonight. Now, they could fall on their face tomorrow in a back-to-back against the Wizards. I hope they don't, clearly. They win that game tomorrow. They're at 500 going into the All-Star break. And then it's anybody's game. I didn't do my normal standings check because I literally walked in the door and sat down. Let's see. Standings live. Western Conference. Portland Trailblazers are 2 games out of 5th. Dumb. Here we are again. 2 games out of 5th. Win that game tomorrow. Get to 500. See what happens down the stretch. They struggle. Then you talk about maybe somebody picks up a calf strain. Winking it on. They win a couple. Go on a 5 out of 7. 7 out of 11. Okay. Now you're looking at the play-in. Now you're looking at maybe outside the play-in or above the play-in, and you're in the top 6. That's how tight things are. One little run, good or bad, can decide things very quickly. Difference is the Blazers just haven't been able to. They haven't done either yet this season. They haven't had was it Memphis lost 11 in a row? They haven't gone that sideways yet. They've gone sideways, not full tilt. They either need to get a lot of wins or a lot of losses, one way or the other, and there you go. So, all right, well, that's where we sit for now. Thank you all. Appreciate you. I love you. We'll be back tomorrow for the game. After that, All-Star break is coming up. I've got my surgery coming up in a couple weeks. I will have a Matisse Thybulle video. I might do a Reddish video. I don't know. It depends on how much he plays and how much he gets integrated. Tease I will definitely do. I will take some of his 76er stuff, and I will take as much of his Blazer stuff as I can and kind of break some stuff down. Where they're using him, how they're deploying him, what they're kind of going through with him, both offensively and defensively, and I will drop that when I am down for surgery. I will be out for 2 weeks, so prepare accordingly. Like I said, my surgery date is March 2nd. It could be before that. I don't know. I do plan to host a watch party for the All-Star events, particularly for the three-point contest. Ant and Dame both in it. Would have been cool for the dunk contest. Maybe I'll do it for the dunk contest anyways. We'll figure it out, but those will be open to everybody. we'll have some fun watching those, and then we'll go from there. And somebody was asking if those breakdown videos go on this channel. Yes, they do. If you can actually find all the breakdown videos I've done over the years, all in one little area. If you look for the one-on-one or breakdown videos, spot in there. And somebody asked if I promise to get trending on the show. I have the ask in. Hopefully we get trending on the show before the All-Star break. I know he's going home for the All-Star break, so I don't want to interrupt that. But if I can get him for a half hour, that's the goal. So, other than that, I've got GM Joe Cronin will be on the radio show, I think, this week. I'm still trying to lock in a time. Not on the podcast this time, just going to be on the radio, which is kind of going back and forth between the pod and the radio. And with everything currently going on, things are up in the air. So other than that, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Like, rate, review, subscribe, do all of the things. Have a wonderful night. Go get your significant other something for Valentine's Day. Don't get in trouble. And we'll catch you guys maybe tomorrow night. Take care. Talk soon. Bye.